Alright, let's make sure I do step 1 correct this first time. Step 1 is to keep your top. So we're keeping 8x squared plus 46x plus 30. And we are dividing by a 12x squared minus 3x minus 9. So we're keeping this first one. We're changing division to multiplication. And then we're going to flip the second one. So I'm bringing my 3x squared minus 5x plus 2 to the top. And then bringing down my 6x plus 30. Okay. Now step 2, we want to factor everything, the numerator and the denominator. Okay. So we haven't factored one like this in a little while, but we did do a lot of these when we were first learning factoring trinomials. With binomials, we've just been looking for the GCF. But with trinomials, really, we were supposed to be looking for the GCF as well. But I didn't want to add that in at us when we were trying to first learn multiplying. Multiplying rationals, okay? So now we want to practice when we're actually looking to see if there's a GCF for all 3 terms, okay? So let's start with our 8, 46, and 30. I noticed that they're all even numbers, which means they're all at least going to be divisible by 2. But we want to look and see if there's anything else that they're all divisible by. So I'm going to set up 8, 46, and 30. I'm going to start with my smallest number because it's going to have the least amount of factors, and then you can check to see if those factors are for the other one or not. So the factors, the things that multiply to equal 8 are 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. So I want to start and see if 46 is divisible by 8, which it's not, so they can't have that one as a common factor. Is 46 divisible by 4? No. Is 46 divisible by 2? Yes. 2 times 23 is 46. So now 1 and 2 are only possible factors for all 3 numbers because there's not another factor for 8, right? 8 and 4 don't work for 46. So we're just going to try these 2 for 30. Does 2 multiply by something to give me 30? It does. 2 times 15. So my greatest common factor is going to be 2. Okay, they don't all have an x. These 2 do, but this one doesn't. So our GCF is just 2, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to factor that out of each of these terms, right? So essentially I'm taking 8x squared plus 46x plus 30, and I'm dividing each term by 2, okay? So, because 2 is my GCF that I'm going to factor to the outside. So 8x squared divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4, so we get 4x squared. Okay. 46x divided by 2 is a 23x. And then 30 divided by 2 is 15. Okay. I'm not done though. The only thing I've done is taken a 2 out. Okay, their common factor of 2. Now I still need to factor this trinomial using the X box. Yes, this one does have a lot more steps. I'm sorry, there's only one, okay? So my A is going to be 4. I need to remember to go back to that. B is going to be 23, and C is 15. So A times C, 4 times 15 is going to be 60, and my B is 23. So you get 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20. I already see that will add up to be 23, but then you'd also have 4 times 15, and 5 times 12, 6 times 10. All right, so 3 and 20 are the ones that will add up to be 23, but I need to remember to go back and divide them by 4. So I'm going to have x plus 3 and x plus 20. Divide them by 4. 3/4 doesn't simplify, so I slide my 4 in front to be 4x plus 3. 20 divided by 4 simplifies to be 5. Okay, so I still keep my GCF out front, and then I'm putting 4x plus 3 and x plus 5. So now I can cross out both of those. All right, and another one. 12, 3, and 9. Some of y'all may be already able to see the GCF, but if not, it's fine. We're gonna check it. So we have 12, 3, and 9. And we're looking for our GCF. So I'm gonna start with my smallest one, which is 1 times 3. So I wanna see if the other two are also divisible by 3. If not, my GCF would be 1. 3 times 4, 3 times 3. So my GCF is 3. So I'm gonna factor a 3 out. So I'm taking that 12x squared minus 3x minus 9, and I'm gonna divide each term by my GCF, which is 3. 12x squared divided by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4, so I get 4x squared. And negative 3x divided by 3 would be a negative 1x. And then negative 9 divided by 3 is a negative 3. Once again, I've now factored out my GCF, but I haven't actually factored my trinomial until I've done my x. Okay? So I'm gonna do my A is 4, so I gotta come back to that. B is negative 1, C is negative 3. A times C gives me negative 12. My B is negative 1. So we have 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. To multiply to a negative, one would need to be negative. Your larger ones need to be negative to add together and stay negative. Okay, so we would have a positive 3 and a negative 4. And yeah, y'all can see this. So x plus 3 and x minus 4. And I'm going to go back and divide by my A. Okay. Running out of room down here. So this changes to 4x plus 3. And then this one simplifies. 4 over 4 would be x minus 1. Okay. So I can cross both these out. I've got to keep my 3 for my GCF up front. And then 4x plus 3. And an x minus 1. Okay. I'm going to ignore this right here. Alright. And now for the next ones. If I was looking for a GCF for 3, 5, and 2, 1 times 3, 1 times 5, and 1 times 2, their GCF is just 1, which means I don't need to find a GCF here. I can just go into using the X box. My A is 3, so I'm going to remember that later. B is negative 5, C is 2. A times C is 6, B is negative 5. If they've got to multiply to be positive but add to be negative, then they all need to be negative. So the ones that add up to be negative 5 would be negative 2 and negative 3. So I have x minus 2, x minus 3. Now we gotta go back and divide by my A. So this slides in front, so it'd be 3x minus 2. And this simplifies to be x minus 1. So 3x minus 2 and then x minus 1. Okay. It is a little chaotic. I'm going to write it nicer in a minute so I can look at it a little better. The last one I need to do is the 6x plus 30. It is just 2 terms, okay? So I'm gonna come down here, 6x plus 30. All I'm looking for is a GCF. They don't both have an x, so I'm just looking for 6 and 30. These are the only possible common factors they could have because these are only factors for 6. So I'm gonna start with the largest number, which is 6. Is 30 divisible by 6? Yes, 5 times 6. so we have a GCF of 6. So I'm going to put my GCF out front up here, and then I'm going to factor it out. So I'm going to divide everything by 6. 6x divided by 6, your 6's cancel, leaving you just an x. And then 30 divided by 6 is 5. Goodness, I know. All right, so now we are done factoring. I'm going to clean it up so we can kind of see what we have. Okay, I have a 2 times 4x plus 3 times x plus 5 over a 3 times 4x plus 3 times x minus 1 times a 3x minus 2 x minus 1 over a 6 times x plus 5. Okay, 4x plus 3 and a 4x plus 3, x plus 5 and an x plus 5, x minus 1 and x minus 1. 2 over 6 would simplify. 2 6 simplifies to 1/3. All right, so all I'm left with on the top is a 3x minus 2. And on the bottom, I have a 3 and another 3. 3 times 3 gives me 9.